Hey guys, today we'll try to understand one of the important functions and one of the expert functions in Google Sheets, that is Lambda. Now, why is Lambda specifically used for? You need to understand that first in order to actually get into the function and use it for your daily analysis. Now, Lambda function can create and return a custom function with a set of names and a formula expression that uses them. Yeah. It usually will calculate a formula expression. So if there is any formula, it will calculate. And you can call that function with many values as named declarations. So let's try and understand why we use Lambda function, because ultimately, so as I said earlier, it will create and return custom function. So that's what you need to understand. So you can use multiple formula expressions to calculate using various variables. Now, what is the syntax of Lambda function? So Lambda is used as is equal to Lambda. You open the brackets and then you specify the name to be used in the formula expression. So I'll specify, suppose I want to calculate the salary. Yeah, I want to have some expression which will calculate my salary, tax on my salary. So my name would be salary. Yeah, and I want the salary to be used to calculate my tax. So suppose my salary into 30%, that is 0.3, is my tax. Yeah. So this is my Lambda function. So nothing will happen unless and until I give it some value. This is the function that is being used, but then ultimately you need to provide it the value so that it can throw you some answers. Yeah. So just alone the function will not help you getting any data out of it. So I need to provide it with a value that will be used instead of salary. So suppose I say my salary is 10,000. Yeah. And I close the brackets. So this is what it will give me. Now I'll say you can directly multiply 10,000 by 0.3. Then what is the use of a lambda function? Now lambda is specifically used when uh, if you want a function uh, which can take input as an argument. Instead, a name function, you can use a lambda or a name function. So for an example, I'll tell you, I have the salaries. Yes, I have the salaries of every month, and I want to calculate the tax. So suppose January, this is the month. Yeah, this February, March, April, May, June. So I pick for 4 months, and I have my salary. And every month there is some variable to it. Going with 11,000. Yes, so I have some variable on it. Now I want to calculate, uh, I can check my salary for a standalone function. So how do I do that? So I'll write a lambda function, yeah, and I'll say my salary. This is one of the use of lambda. I'll show you other uses as well as we move ahead. Yeah, and I'll refer to the cell in which I have my salary. So this is my salary. I'll close it, and here it is. It has calculated the salary. Now for a single value as of now. Now, usually lambda, if you use this function, you should ideally avoid using it for a single value. Yeah, lambda is mostly used with helper functions. Yeah, like map, which we'll see in our subsequent sections. So it is used with helper functions like map, reduce, by call, by row, scan, or make array. Yeah. So these are some of the functions, helper functions, which Lambda uses with it. Uh, Now you'll ask me why we used all this helper function. I'll give you an idea. Yeah. Let's come back here. Uh, Now I want to calculate the tax for all the months. Yeah, I will not drag it like this. I don't want to do it this way. It will get, but I will put a formula, because if I have to do it this way, then I have to put formulas in each cell besides my salary. I don't want to do that. So what I'll do is, there is a simple helper function that Lambda uses, that is called map, as I've told you, and I'll map all the salaries which are here. Yeah, I'll say comma, and then I will have my lambda function. I'll remove this from my last section. I'll close the bracket and I'll press enter. Immediately it will provide me all the salaries for the sections that I have selected. So what this formula is doing, it is mapping all the fields or all the values that I want this formula to run for. Yes. So these are some of the map is one of the helper function that you can use, as I said, along with Lambda, to get a better or a faster output, or probably you write one formula and get maximum output. Same way as map, you have reduce, by call, by row, scan, and make array. So these are some of the helper functions that you can use along with Lambda. But there are few things that you need to be very careful of. Yeah, there are some common errors that that people make. So they usually the common error is the name argument isn't an identifier. So you need to understand a particular name argument cannot be an identifier. So for an example, uh, I cannot write the function like this: lambda, yes, 3 comma x plus 1 and again 3. So my name identifier is 3. Yes. So I cannot be using it as an identifier. So 3 is my identifier. As you said earlier, salary was there instead of, and same, I'm using it as a argument, which cannot happen. So it will give me a name error. Yeah. So you need to be very careful. Yeah. Also, your identifier cannot have special characters. You need to be very careful of that. So if I put my identifier 3 as dollar, yeah, it will not take it. Yeah, formula pass error. So if I say dollar here as well, I cannot use it because special characters cannot be used as identifiers. Yeah. You also cannot have anything which is starting with numbers. So if I say 9 salary and I use here 9 salary, it will not you it will give you an error because you cannot start an identifier with a number. So you need to be very careful while uh, using the lambda function. Yeah. Another thing that needs to be taken care of, which I have already told you, that you cannot run a lambda function without an argument. So you always need to have some value passed on to the lambda function so that it gives you some output. Yeah. We will check other identifiers such as the helper functions in a subsequent section. But this is one of the very important function that can reduce or optimize your formulas a lot because uh, just putting an identifier and mapping it to an argument can help you writing the formula once rather than repeating it for each individual row, which takes a lot of your memory space and it takes a lot of CPU power towards calculating the formulas. Yes, I hope that you will use this formula to optimize your sheets or optimize your dashboards when your sheets have lot of formulas to do the calculations to prepare a dashboard. Yeah, thank you so much.